Hi, and welcome along to DR Sports. We are here for the weekend roundup, right? And I am joined by our brilliant panel as usual. By the way, sorry for being late, yeah?
Power cut.
It weren't a power cut. It weren't a power cut in this case. It was a Fuad cut. Right?
Oh.
Fuad was late,
Apologies.
But no, he's here now, so big up to Fuad.
This is greatness.
Got a bit caught up on the London transport system, but we are here now to talk about the weekend's games and what an unbelievable weekend we've had with some really incredible games. Joining me, of course, Fuad, big Tottenham fan, right? Of course, you know me, Gooner, right? Big Liverpool fan, very happy today.
You're
AGT,
welcome.
A lot more happy than last week. And we've got Matisse, Chelsea fan, in the building. And yeah, guys, let's jump straight into it, man. Let's start with a big game of the weekend, which was, of course, Liverpool versus Manchester City. It was all doom and gloom last week for a lot of Liverpool fans after losing to Arsenal. But first of all, during the week in the Champions League, an incredible 7-1 win over Rangers, at Rangers in the Battle of Britain. And then another great win for them yesterday against Man City. A lot of people were predicting that Man City would turn over Liverpool. Liverpool's defence is not going to be good enough.
Massacre, battering, finished, done, Haaland hat-trick. These are all the things I heard.
By the way, there's one person who predicted a Liverpool win, and that was me.
Big up.
I did actually think that Liverpool, because I saw signs last week, right, that against Arsenal, I was like, Liverpool, they're good.
Yeah.
But if they get it together,
we've never not been, though.
It's going to be, it won't be an easy game for City. But it was a very entertaining game, and you know, more entertaining than you think. It didn't seem like a 1-0 game. You know, it seemed like you know, there's a lot of really good attacking football in it. But it was Salah who came out on top, not Haaland. We're talking about Salah today.
That's what I'm talking about. Salah sinks City.
The stage is yours.
Thank you. The floor is mine, as they say. Should have been about 3 or 4-0 in the end, if I'm truly honest, with the Núñez misses. Should have obviously passed it to Salah, going through on goal very late on. And I'm just over the moon because, as I mentioned, so many people, have been saying this and that about Liverpool. The words that I've heard, finished, done, we've heard it all in the last month or so, which some of it has been, you know, duly warranted. We have been poor, but we still have to remember, this is Liverpool, this is Anfield. And we haven't lost with fans in the ground since 2017, April. 5.5 years now. Virgil van Dijk, 69 games at Anfield, not lost a game at Anfield for Liverpool. The only game he's lost was for Southampton, big man, in 2015. When he came to Anfield. So I'm over the moon. Listen, you can't write us off, bro. Never write us off. Never!
He's back.
The energy is
back.
Are you back to last week?
You know when he went through the comments, he logged every single one. Yeah, I'm gonna remember
I was
all
making
of this.
mental notes. Yeah, I can see them all now.
Yeah.
But listen, what an amazing result. Not just for Liverpool, but for Arsenal. 4 points clear, and we'll get onto that.
Don't worry about us, man.
We'll get onto that.
We don't need no favours.
Yeah. Well,
we did our homework
listen,
last week.
I think an energy provider in Leeds maybe gave you a favour last night, all right? But no, listen, over the moon with the result, how we played, the intensity was back. All these things that we've been saying Liverpool have been lacking. We had them in abundance yesterday. Van Dijk, wow, what a performance. The aggressiveness, Joe Gomez, man of the match.
Yeah, he played
unbelievable, bro. Milner at right back against Foden.
That was meant to be a cooking.
It was meant to be, but who got cooked?
Yeah,
and it weren't James Milner, the captain on the day. So many individual performances I can laud about. Massive performance from Thiago and Mo Salah, the concentration, the touch, the composure. And let's not forget, the one where he went through before, that was a save, an incredible save by Edison, which was given as a goal kick.
Did you get lucky?
Well, so this is what I'm going on to, right? So I knew this would come up. That was a great save. It should have been a corner. It was given as a goal kick. From that goal kick, the ball bounces down. The Edison save. Unbelievable save.
Yeah.
People say, oh, what a miss from Salah. No, Salah had that right in the corner. And Edison with the faintest of touches. What a save. However, From that goal kick, which should have been a corner, resulted to Haaland definitely fouling Fabinho, and then Haaland definitely kicking the ball out of Alisson's hands when he had 2 hands on it. So there's 3 things there that you can bring up. Pep's going to say, this is Anfield, giving it all that. Why did he do that? It just got us up even more.
So
Allegedly, and if that has happened, then that's a disgrace. But it's the only time he's ever complained about having money thrown at him. Yeah.
Wow.
Trust me.
Wow.
Matisse.
That one, Pep.
Matisse.
What's going on?
I was going to say, do we have to give
Yes,
Klopp
Stu.
some credit for the way he's moved Salah more centrally over the last couple of games? Because I noticed he's not playing as far wide. Harvey Elliott now is out there. Do you have
Harvey
to give?
was brilliant
Because
last
I think
night.
that 4-3-3 has been pretty much the bloodline of Liverpool for the past 5-6 years, and we always kind of said, can Klopp evolve that? Can he move away from that? And obviously, the start of the season you've had. Now you've kind of seen Salah get back into form. Is this the new way forward?
It's difficult to really put your hat on that notion because of the fact that we've bought Nunez and Firmino's on fire right now. So do you really put Salah there and maybe risk that confidence level growing of Nunez? It's difficult to say, but it's true. When he is through the middle, he's a killer, bro. He is a
Does
killer.
that not make the best of what he's good at?
But then who do you play in that position? Maybe Harvey
That becomes
to
a
cut
question.
in on
Yeah,
his left.
Harvey possibly.
Maybe, but the thing that I love about Salah is after all the criticism he's received, just the way he celebrated that goal, his composure, how there wasn't a foul on him from Bernardo Silva. I mean, that is genuinely a wrestling move. And then Klopp's had a go at the lino running past.
No,
Fair on him.
didn't you think Klopp as well? I mean, he
Bad foul, man.
He got sent off for it, right? But you know, running down the line like
Hang
he
on,
did. And
did we not remember
No,
Arteta
hold on,
basically playing at
hold on,
right back
hold on,
last week
hold
against
on.
Arsenal, running outside his box, up and down? Let's have some
running
quality.
down the line.
Running down the way.
Is this a good example?
Oh, don't give me that. You should see the game I played. There was people on the pitch, big man.
Right, but does this set, no. I'm being serious now. Does this set a good example?
Listen, he said sorry, we move on. He's taking his punishment. Does it set a good example? What? Does the referee set a good example when he's not giving fouls like that? So what, you're saying I can just do that on the pitch and get away with it? He's only done that because of an outrageous lack of refereeing consistency in that foul. And do you know what? I would have done the same. You would have done the same. Everyone would have done the same. As the liner's running past, you're going to give him an earful. And then
It's set a good example, though. When you've got, like, say, for instance, right, if we saw that in grassroots...
Bro, I see it in grassroots.
Wait a minute.
I see it every Sunday in grassroots.
Yeah, but it's not good, is it?
Of course not, but that's football. It's not a lot of things that aren't good.
It's not for what?
It's
Why
a
don't
lot of things.
we see it in rugby? We don't see it in cricket. We don't see it in.
No one watches that anyway,
We don't see it in boxing. We don't see this in other sports, right?
So why is it okay in football?
No. So
It's
no,
not
I'm
just
saying,
Klopp.
does that set a good example to see Klopp running after the ref, shouting up in his face?
I would have done the same thing. So maybe and I think
Oh,
you would have done the
what do you
same
guys
thing
think?
as well.
I don't think it's.
Come on, you know it as well.
I
bro.
know.
we
Listen,
wear
I
the
know.
respect
You would have done it for
Football's
sure.
a passionate sport,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's right.
I like where you're going with this, you know.
What are you
What's
saying?
the whole point of the respect campaign otherwise?
Oh,
Yeah.
don't
Is it
give
all
me
just for show?
this.
Listen,
Respect the game and give a foul then.
for me, I think
But
there's
referees get
controlling
things
emotions.
wrong all the time.
Yeah.
You know that you're going to get decisions.
Control
that are
your
not always
emotions.
going to be.
I don't know what he said. He must have said something. And did you see when he was coming over? He was like, yeah, go on, give me the red. Give me the red. Yeah. It's like he loved it. But listen, he said sorry.
Klopp, sometimes if you can get under Klopp's skin, you can shake him to the core. And he's an emotional, passionate guy.
Of course,
It
bro, but that's why I
happens,
love him so
but
much.
You can't sometimes get sucked
about
in
Pep?
like that. I just feel like Pep, it happens as well.
He was emotional. He got rattled
He
yesterday.
was on his knees when
One
Salah
win
broke
in
through on
20
goal.
years.
Do you think that them sort of things though
Pause.
can add to problems? Can add to, like, you know, there was Man City's fans singing songs about Hillsborough.
Well, that
There
is
was
disgusting, by the
There's
way.
coins. You might joke about it, but there were coins being thrown at Pep.
Allegedly.
You know what I mean? I mean, this guy here, Sakil, he says, Robbie, calm down. It's not that deep.
Yeah, it isn't.
But
Klopp's come out and
but
apologised.
no. But hold on, right? It can be, because it can be those things that stir up fans to then start singing Hillsborough songs. It can be those things that
It's
stir
never
up
okay.
fans
No,
to start
Robbie, I'm going to
throwing
stop you
coins.
here. I'm going to stop you here. It's never okay to sing about dead people's families.
Yeah, no, it's
never.
not. It's listen, we
Because
know.
one knobhead
But
threw
we-
a coin. You think that
No,
gives you the gravitas
I'm
to
saying,
sing that? It's
right?
disgusting.
I'm saying when Klopp is going and running down and stuff like that, this is all some of those idiots need. You know what I mean? To then get them wound up to start doing that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, Klopp needs to tone it down a bit sometimes with some of them things. Don't you
Listen,
think?
maybe.
I mean, what do you
Maybe.
think?
I
Matisse?
think that fixture in particular, it was a lot for Klopp. He needed his team to respond. It was always going to be emotional. Finally, we actually see a rivalry between these two teams because usually they're hugging, kissing, doing handshakes, complimenting each other. This was actually a real rivalry because it actually meant something because Liverpool weren't at their best this season. They needed the points. And I think in the heat of the moment, you know, I can understand Klopp acting the way he's acting. I'm not saying it's right because he was right in the linesman face. Like he literally blocked his path. He almost blocked his run, like as if he was trying to defend him. But do you know what I mean? I can understand in a game of that magnitude where you know you need to win, and people are really starting to question your credibility as a manager and things like that. Then yeah, it's gonna happen. It's football. The game is very emotional,
Can I
especially
just
in a
say,
game like that.
if there was a coin or whatever thrown at Pep, obviously I condemn that. Let's separate
Coins,
the two
they reckon.
things.
Coins, not one coin. They reckon
Yeah,
coins. Are
if
thrown
that has happened, then listen, there's no way I'm going to stand behind that and accept that. That's bad, right? Similar to what happened when you lot did it to Carragher back in the day and he threw it back at you. It's horrible. It shouldn't ever happen on a football pitch. But those people that sung about those deceased people from Hillsborough, something needs to be done about this, Rob. There needs to be education. Imagine you're one of the mums of the guys who died at Hillsborough and you're hearing that on the TV. You're murderers. The son was right. You're murderers. That is disgusting. The only way, and it is impossible to police these things because it's not technically illegal, is it? But there needs to be education here, Rob.
What would you
that
do?
could have been
Do you think
anyone's
the easiest
family.
thing to do is so maybe sanction the club? Like
I don't
sanction
think
Man
it's
City?
education.
Yeah, but it's
I
down
think
to
they
the
know
club.
what they're doing, unfortunately. Like,
But that's through a lack of education, is it not? If you knew the actual truth behind this all and didn't just go with the narrative, then you wouldn't.
I think some people are just arseholes.
You've got to
and they
be
just
some
don't
kind
care.
of person to
That's-
sing that song, Robbie. You really do.
Yeah,
If
but
you-
I do believe
you've
there's
got to be
people out
some
there,
kind of
especially
waste man
on a,
to sing
on a
that.
game day. You know, sometimes games turn people into the worst, and they just see it as an opportunity
Yeah.
to get
Do you know what,
rowdy
Rob? I have to
and
say as
start
well-
doing stupid stuff.
I'm really disappointed with not every listen. Every single club has idiots in it, but go into the games, and I don't know if you can back me up on this as well. It's starting to get a bit nastier now. It's almost going back to the 80s, from what I've seen in terms of the vile chants, the racism, the hooliganism. It's disgusting, and it's not just City. It's and there's Liverpool ones as well. It's every club, bro. And,
Yeah.
and going to a football
I-
match is starting to get a bit nasty
Yeah,
again.
I
man.
hate that when I hear chanting like that. I really, really. I never forget. Right, there was it's quite a few years back, and Arsenal was at Chelsea actually, right? And I think it was when Lampard had lost his
His
mum
dad,
or
his mum,
dad,
his mum.
and there was a fan there singing about it.
Do you know what I mean, Rob? That's
I had to
disgusting.
look at this guy, man, and just. I was so disgusted. I felt like gripping the guy up myself.
That's what I mean.
And you know, what I mean, Lampard's got nothing to do with me, but I'm just like, yo, bro, what are you?
Why?
Why?
What, you know what I mean? What even makes you?
Put yourself in those
You
shoes.
know, and I really do think, you know, what I mean, we can. I agree with what you're saying, Matisse. It's not an education thing. These guys know what they're doing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're
If
saying.
they were educated,
when
they
these guys
wouldn't
are
do
being
that.
racist, they know what they're doing. There's no education. We just don't want them in the game.
Do you know what? Yeah,
We don't want them. They
you
got.
even get
I mean, we want them out.
you even get very intelligent, educated people who work, you know, proper big jobs, and they come out on a weekend and they just
Get a
lose
bit of
all
that up their
composure, and
nose,
they
have a few
just start
drinks,
because
yeah.
they just think that they're untouchables really on a weekend. I don't know what it is. You know, they go to the game, they get around their mates,
So
and
true.
they think that they could just do whatever, and on Monday morning it's all gone. And I think this, we'll probably talk about it later, but it segues nicely into Ivan Toney as well. We're talking
Yeah.
about racism and all of these things and the chants. I'm loving that he's just exposing full names
too.
online. Don't.
Me too.
I saw someone in the comments saying, "Oh, you know, he might ruin his life. You might regret this."
So
I said,
what?
"Bro, I don't give a. I don't
Yeah,
give a crap, bro."
we were driving up to Leeds yesterday. We were discussing this, and we were saying, was he sort of right to? And I said, listen, expose him, man.
Yep, 100%.
Expose him. I saw somebody here in the chat there. I'm trying to find him. Travaleri. He says
23.
a kid who abused
what I mean,
Ivan Toney was 23.
That's not
Old
a kid.
enough.
Right?
That's
No,
not
it's
a
not a
kid.
kid, is it?
No, it's
That's
not a
a
kid.
grown
And he-
man
Expose
making
him, and then
decisions.
just, I mean, let him now feel the heat.
Yeah, and it wasn't a
Let him
one-time
feel
thing
what it's-
either.
Let him
Yeah.
find out what it's like now to have everyone on your case.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, look, his accounts have been deleted and all that. Probably if Ivan Toney would have not done that, it would have just
He
gone...
would have carried
No,
on.
he complained to Facebook or whatever.
That's
They
what you got
wouldn't
to
do
start
nothing.
doing.
Yeah.
Why not?
Expose them, man.
And when he exposed him as well, it came out that he'd been doing it on Twitter as well,
Yeah.
not just on Instagram. So he's
Listen,
got a track record of it. So
If you're a 23-year-old man thinking you're a big man to be messaging people them kind of words, then you should be a big man to take the abuse that comes your way after that. Disgusting.
Take it. But listen, I don't want that to detract from a brilliant game. I love this one here from TZ. This comment here.
I love these comments. It's been a while since I've seen these kind of nice comments.
Let's see if it pops up. He said, Haaland, welcome to Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk Penitentiary. Right, and he says, big up to my boy.
The Haaland stoppers.
They rolled back the years. They rolled back the years, those two. I'm not going to lie. Gomez was incredible.
Oh my
What was that season? 18-19?
Yeah. When they went on that period of just unbelievable partnership.
And Van Dijk as well to intercept the Haaland chance that would have happened. He would have been a certain goal if he didn't get there. Unbelievable.
Do you remember what I was saying last week about how we've seen a lack of sprinting to the ball, being that aggressive defender that Van Dijk was? Yesterday he did that. When have you ever seen Van Dijk slide to block a cross?
Bro, I said that. He's defending that
Last night
Anfield
he was
record
sliding.
like his life depends on it. I've never seen Van Dijk getting the
was
socks
on
dirty.
it, bro.
He's like, today I'm doing it.
Today
There's
I'm rolling
blood on the
up my
line.
sleeves.
Do you think, though, as well, I just want to say on the other side, on Man City, we were saying this on stoppage time as well. Do you think Man City are now starting to change their system where they're forcing the Haaland move too much? Where kind of before there'd be a lot more intricate build-up. They go out wide, the 1-2s. Now it's more Kevin De Bruyne gets it, whip it
Straight
to
into
Haaland.
Haaland.
Yeah, Foden gets it, hit it to Haaland. Like, you just pray Haaland's on the run and he just gets it.
There was exactly what you're saying. There was an opportunity for Gundogan to slide it into Foden, and it was on his left foot. Would have been a great finish, and he's still looking for Haaland, and it wasn't even the option. It wasn't the best choice.
Although
at the time.
Haaland missed a couple of chances in that game as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, you know, quite unusual for him. But there's a super chat here from James. He says, Robbie, disappointed the angle you've taken that fans can be provoked to sing those songs. Me talking as someone who's been affected by the disaster, it's never right. Whatever happens, but I think you're taking what I'm saying wrong. I am not saying under any circumstances you should sing those songs, right? What I'm saying is that sometimes these idiots, all it takes is when they get a little wound up.
They would have sung it anyway,
right?
Rob.
And
Trust me.
out it comes. You know what I mean?
Can I just say they were singing it before the game? Even
so they were singing it before
so
the game.
that can't.
All right.
It's not about this has
Well, to
happened,
me-
so
to
we're going
me-
to sing
and-
that.
and
They're
to
singing
me-
that before the game in the pub.
To me, I sort of think with Matisse, right? It's like a thing like it almost has to be a thing that if you have done this and you've done it more than once, right? No away fans for and not just for the Liverpool game. It'd be like, right, Man City, no away fans for the next 4 games. And then I'll tell you, it would be then
stop it.
self-policed.
Yeah.
Because other fans will be like,
telling people to shut up.
As soon as someone goes to open their mouth, they'll be going, yo, you're stopping me. Your actions, right, are stopping me from going to watch my team. Shut up. Shut it, right? And that it will be self-policed after that. So these are the actions that have to be taken. I hear a lot of times, it's even the same with racism. You have to take...
extreme action.
The club has to take action.
Yeah.
And the authorities have to take extreme action, and you will see.
You're right. It will
But
be
if
self-policed.
you just say, well, there's not a lot we can do because, how do we pick out the person that said it? I mean, then the people keep doing it. They'll keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You have to take serious action.
Identify them. The faces are there.
But sometimes, even if you can't, you can identify some of the people. You're not going to be able to identify all of them. But what you can just do, and listen, I'm speaking as a fan who goes to games. I would never want to be stopped from going to a game. But if that's the action that sometimes has to be taken,
then so be it.
To stop this sort of stuff, then take it.
You can run this all the way back to school. There was always that loud kid in class who would make too much noise, get everybody sent back into the classroom at break time. Now nobody can go outside. Now everybody's inside. Now weeks go by, he's still making noise. Everyone's shut up. We're gonna rushing him in the. Yo, listen. Because now people are starting to go home late, and you know what I mean. The bell's bro, 100%. The bell's gone, and everybody's still in the classroom because there's one guy. No, it's not gonna work.
Exactly, and listen. Sometimes this is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. Now, this one, I don't really want to get into this one.
This one we can't actually read out because it can't be...
Yeah, and we don't even know if that 5'8" GO...
I'll tell you why
we don't
it's
know,
not that after,
we don't know what was said in that in that incident. So I don't really want to.
Can I just say this? If it was racism, we'd know about it now. So the thing that he's allegedly said is about something that legally we can't talk about right now. That's what I'm going to say.
And this guy here, Robin, says that's cancel culture. It never works. Well, no, it's not cancel culture.
It's just being a nice person, bro.
I want that cancelled. I want people singing about Hillsborough cancelled. I want people singing about racism cancelled. I want people singing about the Munich thing cancelled.
100%.
It's not acceptable,
Facts.
man. I mean, it's honestly, we do not want that in a football ground. Listen, when we played Tottenham the other day, right, some of the songs that the Tottenham fans were singing, some of the fans that Arsenal fans are singing are funny and banter and like going at each other. I love that. I love that about the derby.
Yeah.
But when it crosses the line, like you hear anti-Semitic things and stuff, I don't want that.
No.
I don't want that associated with me. I don't want that associated with the club that I love. Right? So get it out. We have to.
You've got more than enough songs.
It's not a matter of there's enough songs.
There's so much you can
sing about winning the league.
Exactly.
You know, beating us by 1
but
point.
they haven't won the league.
No, not them, but
No.
There was no need for that. That was a straight bullet. No need for that. No need for that.
You see what I'm saying? There's banter in many other ways.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'd rather that than what we heard.
100%.
But anyway, listen. It was a great result for Liverpool.
But because I think Pep, free at the back, Cancelo, right wing. Why did they have
don't know why he done
3v3
that,
on transition with Liverpool? Salah's there, you got Jota there, Firmino's there. By the way, dropping Núñez, masterstroke. When he came on, he stunk up the pitch, made everything
No,
look...
he stretched the play.
But bro,
did a couple of nice runs.
Yeah, but bro, his decision making was awful. And you know, and I've been saying it, if Salah plays and Núñez is not there, he looks better. I'm sorry, you know this.
Hey, listen.
You know
We
this,
got
bro.
my boy Darwin. Las tres.
You know this, bro.
Vamos.
You know this. When
Resilience.
it's not a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? It's not a coincidence.
No
But,
hablo inglés.
but yeah, Cancelo playing right wing and he was so far up the pitch and he looked awful, by the way. Cancelo was awful. He
I
wasn't
mean,
good.
what was he doing on the Salah goal?
One
He just
long ball
dived
over
in.
the top.
Even in
What's
general
the
What
play.
a touch, though. And what an assist. Can I
No,
just
that
say as
was
well,
a Salah
before we
goal.
move on, Alisson, since he's joined Liverpool, 4 assists, 1 goal. It's the most goal contributions of any goalkeeper.
That assist for the goal by Alisson
Wow.
is insane.
Yeah.
More than Grealish.
And do you know what?
John Man
Yeah,
said.
more than Grealish in 2022. How about that? But Alisson sees Salah, puts his little arm up,
Headband.
and he
Armour on
finds
defender.
him, pinpoint, and then to bring that down with a man on your back, and then stay composed after you've just missed one.
I'm glad to see you back, you know.
Thank you.
I'm
It's
glad
good
to
to
see
be
you
back.
back, you know,
Let's
because
move on.
I'm not getting the energy, man.
We're not even going to get to the other games, fam. Because
Still no other games played at the weekend, only the Liverpool
he's
season.
feeling
I
it
love
today.
it.
He's
We are
feeling
back.
it today. Wow,
back.
wow. This
Look at
energy.
that smile, man.
This
Yeah,
energy.
yeah.
Listen, I'm not Fuizzy, but we're back.
Yeah, man.
We're
Big
not
up Fuizzi
big
as well,
up,
man.
man.
I'm glad to see you, man. Happy,
I'm more
man.
of a Doyle, but
The other game, there was another game on, right? The game yesterday, the other game yesterday was the game, I was at the game. Leeds 0, Arsenal 1. Fantastic goal by Saka in the game.
Great finish.
Who again had another...
right foot as well.
Another great game by Saka. This kid, man, is unbelievable, man. He got the winner yesterday against Leeds. He got the winner during the week against Bodo Glimt, and he got the winner, that pressure penalty against Liverpool. For a young player, he's
What a week for him.
top player, yeah. But I have to say, boy, they had us under some serious pressure, Leeds,
trust
man.
me,
That
You know what
last
I mean?
10, 15.
I mean, it was a real weird game. I was recording the Bias Premier League show over on AFTV earlier, and I said in it, like, now I don't know if you guys know what, I'm sure you all know what happened at the start of the game. There was this power cut,
Yeah.
and they took the players off after about 2 minutes, and didn't come back on for nearly 40 minutes. As a matter of fact, at one stage, apparently the game was in danger of being just completely cancelled, right?
Or warm up again, isn't it?
But no, they had to come back on and do full warm-ups.
Yeah.
Full warm-ups.
Bibs
the
back on.
teams. Bibs back on,
Oh,
everything, and
you're
do full
taking
warm-ups,
liberties.
right? But what really annoyed me as a fan that was inside the stadium is that nobody knew what was going on.
No communication.
They made an announcement after about half an hour. But up until then, everyone's just like, what's going on, Rob? Do you know what's going on? Everybody not, even the Leeds fans. At one time, the whole stadium, Arsenal and Leeds fans were singing, what the F is going on? Now, in 2022, nobody can communicate to the fans.
They've literally got
who have
announcers.
paid their money,
Yeah.
right, to go, whether it's whether it's locally from Leeds or come all the way from London to watch a game of football. The last people to know what's happening are the fans that are in the stadium. I thought it was terrible. You know what I mean? I'm like, where's the communication? If you went to the theatre, I was saying it earlier, if you went to the theatre and, you know, there's a technical fault why the show can't go on, or a music concert or something, someone's going to come up on stage and go, ladies and gentlemen, bear with us. We're trying to sort out this. Nothing.
No, it's awful.
I'll tell you, I couldn't believe it. And then eventually the game got underway. And all I've got to say is, because apparently the power cut was affecting the VAR, and if they couldn't get the VAR up, there wouldn't have been a game.
Yeah.
Man of the match, the electrician.
Yeah.
Who got it sorted, right? Because VAR was called into effect in so many decisions. I mean, there was a handball in the game
it to be on.
for the penalty, which the referee didn't give at first. It was a penalty by Saliba. It did hit his hand.
Big pen.
But then Bamford missed the penalty. And then there was the incident at the end of the game now where Gabriel was sent off. And a penalty awarded, but then when you saw the replay, you could see clearly that Bamford was the one who committed the foul. He pushed him over, and that it was barely a kick out.
Oh, I don't know. He's got him twice.
It was barely a kick out.
I thought it was a kick out.
It's a little bit rash.
Why did he get a yellow then if it was barely a kick?
I think Bamford should have got a yellow. Bamford was the one who did the foul. I couldn't understand how he didn't get anything.
He's been provoked, but I do think it was a bit nasty.
I think they should both have been
yellow and a red.
A free kick, yeah.
But again, the VAR got it right. The other thing about VAR, right, I've just on behalf of referees right now, is it wise to have the VAR machine right there on the pitch?
No.
When the referee has to go and check
And
it.
all Leeds fans.
And all the Leeds fans.
All the fans are there taking pictures.
And they go like that. And
They need to have like hoardings that block it
Yeah,
off.
you need to go in
I
a
noticed-
little
I
booth.
And I feel like the
Little
screen
booth.
shouldn't be like accessible to the
Yeah,
cameras.
because
It should
plus
be
as well-
a flat one that only he can look
Yeah,
down
plus
on.
all the players are all standing around going, yo, good bro.
Look at that!
Yeah.
Look at that! It's there!
I tell you, it's a lot of pressure for the referee.
is a lot of pressure.
Can you
I
imagine,
noticed
though?
in the Man United game, they had it in sort of a bit into a tunnel.
They should have it.
But the Leeds one, like the fans were like...
Even at this point, a VAR room, really. Because you need
Yeah.
to be able
Booth.
to concentrate.
Little
a booth.
booth.
Yeah, a little booth.
Fire
you
in
need to
the
be able to
booth.
concentrate.
But
And focus on what you're looking
I have to
at.
say, Leeds were... And actually, yeah, the penalty, as a lot of people was pointing out, again, which VAR actually missed, the penalty that they got, it was actually an offside anyway. Like a big offside.
How are they missing that? I don't understand.
I don't know. So it shouldn't even have been a penalty.
Doesn't even work.
Is it,
But,
is it time to start talking about the
it out.
title?
For Arsenal?
I like the way you've asked him. Because he was going to ask us.
No,
He was
no,
going to
because
ask
I
us.
know
and
what
you
he was
asked
going to
him.
try and do. but
Yeah,
I
lean on
want
him.
I wasn't
to
trying to do
hear it
anything.
from the horse's
Spin
mouth.
this.
Oh, man, you know what,
Because
right?
now it's 10 games, you're looking comfortable. And when I say comfortable, I mean defence is settled. Midfield looks improved. Goals you're scoring. Saka's now stepping up as well. In Europa League, you're able to rest players, bring those other players in, Fabio Vieira, and they're stepping up as well. You've got a bit of synergy going. The stadium's rocking. Is it time to now say, all right, you know what, forget
You're
the top
setting me
four.
up here, though. You know what I
I'm,
mean?
I'm just being...
Tasting your own medicine, bro.
Genuine conversations, I'm just saying. Is it time to say,
I know you're setting me
How
up,
that
but
medicine taste.
because January is still there as well, where you can say,
By the way,
let's
let's add. If your board are not watching all this and thinking, yo, we are going to go ham in January, then I don't know what they're doing. Because this
your
is a
chance,
great
bro.
opportunity.
This is your
this
one
is
chance.
this is what I said, right? If I'm Arteta, publicly,
Yeah.
I'm saying to everybody, no, I'm playing it down. I'm saying, listen, hopefully we'll get the top four. You know, I mean, we've just got to keep winning game by game. To my players, privately, I'm saying, yeah, we're in the title race.
Yeah.
We're top of the league. We're playing well. Even when yesterday
Does
we
that
didn't
help
play.
them? Or take the pressure off them and just say to them game by game?
No, but I'm saying that to the players, when you're in the change room, when you're in the training and everything, you're like, yo, we are now officially in the title race. We can win this. If we stay consistent, if we don't drop points at places we're not supposed to drop points, we make home a fortress and we're consistent, we can win the league.
Do you
I
think that will help the players?
I do.
Yeah.
I do think it will help the players because I think, you know, as I said to the guys when we were driving home yesterday, I said, aim for the main prize, and if it ends up top four, it still works out
Yeah.
not too
High.
bad anyway.
Yeah.
But Arsenal now need to be aiming for the league. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to win the league because, you know, I've seen over the years, you guys, how good you've been, and City still. City are that team that even after yesterday's loss are capable of going on a winning run of 10. We've just gone on a winning run, but they do that all the time for fun. They're capable of doing that, winning every one, right? So, but we're in it. We're in it. Tottenham are still in it. Tottenham are only 4 points off. I know you say shit. Yeah, let me ask you.
We move in silence.
Hold on. You're not getting away with it either. You're not getting away with it either.
Ugly Conte, innit?
Right? If City are in the title race, right, and everyone's still saying City and they're 4 points back, then so are you, because you're on the same amount of points as Man City.
I think the reason why people are discounting us is I don't think people think our football is sustainable. I think they think we're going to come undone at some point. Personally, I don't think we have the quality to maintain a title charge. I think that a top 4 race, now I'm actually a little bit more confident in thinking, do you know what? I was right maybe at the start of the season in saying I think Conte is going to be the one that kind of maximises in areas where we're not as great. For example, like Doherty coming back in, I thought is going to be a massive improvement on Emerson. Basuma's now all of a sudden starting to get game time where he's looking good. Richarlison's big injury. We've got to switch the system a little bit. Kulusevski's been out. We've still been getting results. So, listen, if Conte can keep working his magic, I think top 4's within our rights to claim. But title, I still think we're a little bit away from that.
Would you say that Harry Kane is the best diver in the league?
Do you know what? Genuinely, pound for pound, I don't think there's many better. I don't think there's many better.
Vardy's up there.
I think Vardy, Salah, Kane. There's a few contenders there, but listen. As long as he wins them, scores them,
he's very
I
clever.
won't complain.
It's so clever.
Do you know what it is?
Because he leaves it down to us debating if it is a pen or not.
When it's Harry Kane, it's diving. When it's Pedri or Gavi, it's seen as, it's a work of art. He's winning the fouls. He's winning the penalty.
That's your team.
Why is it seen as a negative when it's one of our own?
So
when it's one of your own talent.
One of yours.
You be one of yours. I don't know, man. I feel like so you're admitting it was a dive then.
You know what? We're going to get to that.
I don't think that was a dive. The Pickford one wasn't.
We're going to get to the Tottenham game.
But I do agree.
You know what? There's a load of super chats and they're not coming up on my screen. So let me go through them because thank you very much for these guys. 58 GOJ 58 says, okay, sorry about my previous comment. My next question is, do you think Pep hyped up the crowd similar to when Arteta squared up to Klopp?
Yeah.
I do.
He did.
I do. It reminded me
didn't
so
help
much
himself.
of that. It reminded me so much of that. I remember when we played Liverpool and Arteta did a similar thing. And the crowds got wound up, and Pep Klopp got wound up, and then they end up pumping us. So
it's about time.
Yeah.
This fixture has been way too friendly all these years.
Kiddie gloves.
Yeah. Even the previews between fans.
Yep.
Disgrace.
Don't bring fan channels into this.
Oh yeah, I will.
We're out here
Cop TV, Big Steve, all together, kumbaya. It's a good rivalry, isn't it? Yeah, ridiculous.
We play good football, don't we?
Yeah,
You guys are so great. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Football friend. Do you want to Champions League? Do you want to Premier League?
Friendly rivalry.
Yeah,
you know
man,
what I mean?
start this. Yeah, man. I like this. This is good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Matisse, man. Annie Rood says, let's talk about how incredibly lucky Arsenal were and how biased the ref was. Now, I'm sorry, the referee was not biased. The referee, actually, it wasn't even the referee who gave that penalty at the end. It was the linesman. How he saw that from where he was. And it was a linesman who said to give Gabriel a red card, and VAR checked it and quite rightly overturned it.
It's 2 yellows
Quite
for me.
rightly
Very
overturned
simple.
it. It was not a penalty. Talking about diving, Bamford. I mean, come on. He should have got booked for that alone. So I'm sorry, I'm not agreeing with you there. Adam says, when are you going to admit that Gabriel should be dropped? Absolute brain dead at times. Adam, he was our best centre-back in that game yesterday.
Who would you have dropped him for anyway? I don't think the depth
Move
for
Ben White
but
Tommy Asu right back.
No, I'm not
wouldn't do
dropping
that.
Gabriel.
I wouldn't move the whole back line
Gabriel is
for
a
that.
very important player to our team. He's had a couple of moments. Gabriel yesterday, Ty's in the studio as well, would back me up on that. He was our best centre-back. He won everything. He was brilliant yesterday. just that little moment at the end, and as we saw from the VAR proved, he should have been sent off anyway.
I think
he does need to cut out that sort of. But that's the type of guy. He's that type of defender.
Yeah, we've had it with Rudiger as well. Yeah,
Rudiger, sometimes you need players like that.
I think in January though, you do well to get another experienced centre back. Experienced
Who's
top.
out there?
I don't know, but I'm just saying because if one of your centre backs were to pick up an injury, you'd then be moving Ben White, moving Tommy Asu,
and the whole balance changes.
You know what I saw
if
today?
You bring in a leader at the back, it will help.
I saw wants to move in January. Bonucci. Yeah,
he's a bit old, though, bro.
Bonucci.
Look at him. You're scared now.
No,
this ain't 2018. Bro.
Trust 2012. 2012.
Stay away from that, please. No, go grab that, big man. That's what you need.
You would have said that about Thiago Silva. One of the best centre backs in the league.
Listen, Thiago Silva, I think I would have still said will bring some quality. Bonucci's finished.
You definitely need.
Bonucci's not like a defend-first defender. He's a ball-playing defender.
Yeah, that's true.
Allegri's getting sacked.
That's true. Chuds 101 says, Fuad, ask Cams about his thoughts about Grealish.
Boy, uncomfortable conversations. They know. That's all I'll say.
All right, Olu with another super chat said, Arteta did a video with... it's annoying, this.
You been baited again.
No. There's so many comments coming in.
It's the super down. They're not working up on my screen.
How many's live at the moment?
Bagging Grip says Bernardo tried to kick an elbow Salah after that foul. The rat.
I'm not gonna lie, Bernardo was like a menace. He was a menace.
A picture of him in midair.
Bagging
Salah's hench, man.
Yeah, Bagging Pip says bottom left. What happened to City smoking Liverpool?
Man said bottom left.
Make sure he gets cooked tonight.
Me?
Hugh gets cooked tonight.
Oh, Hugh.
I remember last year when Liverpool were 14 points behind.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying, man.
Facts,
you can't,
man.
you know what I mean?
And you can't write us out now either. After we've beaten the champions, you can't write us out.
Really?
9 games in, you're going to write man off.
Are you saying Liverpool are still in the title race?
West Ham on Wednesday night, we're 6 points behind City. So what, you writing us off?
I'm asking you a question. Are you still in the title race?
If we beat City, we're still in it.
Fairs. I think
Bro, we've just beaten the best team in the world. Like,
I know.
Typical us, we'll probably draw on Wednesday.
Got to beat the other.
I know,
Don't forget that.
We can't just get up for that one and then,
Sometimes it gets like that.
Sometimes, but it was so early, bro. We've got game in hand. 9 games we've played.
You know that meme where you're holding onto the backpack and it's just like the strings are just slightly falling off?
Yeah, give me them strings, bro. That's all I like.
Nicky says, and this is a great thing, he says, would you prefer to play City now? 7 points clear. Yeah, now, that's the thing. Arsenal were supposed to play Man City on Wednesday. Well, obviously, because what happened with the Queen and that, and then we had to cancel our Europa League game. And Europa, they just seem to override everything. So they put the Europa League game that was cancelled in for this week.
Oh, right.
So we got to play PSV on Thursday, and we've got no midweek game.
Yeah.
And I personally agree with that guy. I would have rather played... Listen, there's no good time to play City, and they'd be looking for revenge after... But I wanted to play City just to try and see where we are.
Where was that game, Rob?
Emirates.
It was at the Emirates.
But I think
I wanted to see where we were at.
I think you've had the 2 tests. I think United was the one where it was like, oh, okay, there's still things we can learn.
And then you beat Liverpool.
When you beat Liverpool, I felt like was the one where that second place team.
City also is another team that always.
Yeah.
City's a team that always beat us like over the last few years, home and away. I would have loved to.
Oh yeah, because I remember January. You lot were saying you won the first half, innit?
Were they not?
Not just the first half.
Did they not?
I think we should have won that game.
What was the final result?
I wanted to play him. 5 wins, 1 draw, 6 games under Potter. On to Brentford, says BABA. Let's move on to that game. A good win again yesterday. 2 great goals by Mason Mount.
Yeah.
Who's hitting form.
Tyrone
Mings, if he's on that plane, then wow. He just froze after that moment.
What is he doing?
So he heads the ball back towards his own goal, gets it completely wrong, and then he just stands there and he just watches everything.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's like musical statues. He just literally just stood there and watched it.
I tried to make an excuse for him because on the pitch, you know how like the shadows of the sun sometimes get in your eye?
Yeah.
I was thinking, the sun must have been in his eye.
Yeah, that's what
he
I
was
thought.
in a shadow. He was literally in a shadow. How have you... Like, what were you thinking?
no idea.
I understand if you're heading it back to the keeper and then you get a little round of applause, the keeper picks it up, no back pass, you can go again. But it was like he jumped to head it that way, and then the last second
then changed his mind
like that, and then Mount's just tapped it in, and then he gives an awful free kick away for the free kick for 2-0, which I think should have been saved, if I'm honest. Poor position for Martinez.
That was
but two big mistakes have cost them, bro.
And I think Mings is one of those players, because he plays at Villa, he's not always in the limelight, and maybe in these kind of games highlight him. But I feel like for maybe the best part of 2 years now,
he's been
very poor for Villa, error prone. I think Konsa next to him has looked
But if Diego Carlos didn't get injured, he'd be playing next to him.
100%.
So Mings is only in the team because of an injury.
I don't know, because I know Gerrard dropped him towards the back end of the last season, but captain still, I'm just like, I don't know what Villa are going to do with him. I feel like they should just offload him.
Who, Gerrard?
No, Mings.
Oh,
well,
we're gonna get to Gerrard in a minute.
Whilst you're at it.
We're gonna get to Gerrard in a minute, but let's talk about Chelsea, right?
Impressive, man.
real silence.
Like you said, moving in silence. They're moving in silence, right? They're fourth now.
It's like your car.
Fourth. 19 points.
Lucky team.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
I remember they got a game in hand as well. So if they win that game in hand, right, they're up onto 22 points. That's only a point below Tottenham.
They've got
an unbelievable squad as well. You know what I mean? The way they've been able to make changes and still have a really strong team out there.
Yeah.
You can't write off Chelsea for this league, can you?
You can. Because I will. I just did.
He's doing
No, come on, be serious.
I am being serious.
I know
You're
the
not
move,
involved.
I know the move is silence thing and that, but serious.
No, serious. It's not going to happen.
Why?
I'm on his side
All right, so
still.
why are you writing it off?
Because the reason why I'm writing it off is because we're not going to make that massive jump between... I mean, first of all, the way we played yesterday, we actually got absolutely battered. The result looks lovely, and we're playing 9 games in a month. We've got Champions League, so I'm not expecting perfect performances week in, week out. But this team still has a lot of learning to, a lot of growth to do. The midfield still needs a little bit of, not surgery, but it could do with a little replenishing, a little bit of Kante's out, all these things. So Reece James out. These are the things for me that will hamper us. If the whole team could remain fit throughout the whole season, then you could say maybe, if other people like Man City don't do their job, we could maybe make a little sneak if everybody's fit. But when you haven't got Kante, when you've got Reece James missing, performances like yesterday can happen, and Kepa had the game of his life.
Oh, this save that
The
he made.
game of his
Triple save.
life.
Unbelievable
It was the best
save.
game I've ever seen him in a Chelsea shirt.
Is he the number one now?
He is at the moment.
Because Potter seems to fancy him more than Mendy.
Yeah, and it's understandable at the moment because he's in good form. 4 clean sheets in a row, 5 wins, triple save. The save point blank range from Ings. I think there was 8 shots on target in the first half, and then 7 more in the second.
Villa actually peppered you.
They peppered us, yeah. So I've got to give a lot of credit to Villa because they were unbeaten in 4 before this. They played brilliantly, and outside those 2 individual errors, they can feel hard done by that they didn't get something out of the game. They played really, really well. But I'm happy that we were able to just get the points and get out because I think we've been playing well under Potter, but there's still ways to go. There's still things that need to change. There's things that need to be done. But yeah, I'm happy. Mason Mount's back in form, which is really important.
Harry Doherty said sacked in the morning. Now,
I think
he's one of your legends of your club. Is it time to sack Steven Gerrard? I mean, I was just looking at the league here. Aston Villa in 16th on 9 points. They've only won 2 games this season.
I think...
is it time to sack him?
I actually agree with what Matisse said. On the performance yesterday, that isn't a performance where you go, right, we have to sack this manager in the morning now. The performance, the crowd was up. Bailey was playing really well. Ings should have definitely scored a couple. Bailey hit the post. Yep. The performance, like Matisse said, they can go away and be happy with that. What I would say, though, is I think it would be quite stupid of any club to sack their manager now when we're about 3 weeks away from or a month away from a World Cup.
Yeah.
At least get to that stage. And then if you fancy a change, you go, you know what, we've got 6 weeks to think on this.
I mean, everybody
Let's do it then.
Everybody complained and moaned when Bournemouth sacked
Parker.
Yeah.
And look how good they've been since
Sometimes
then.
it works, but at the same time, when you're Villa
and,
again...
Nottingham Forest kept their manager, and look how bad they've been. So
Sure.
But Robbie, look at Arsenal's process as well. So for me, sometimes I feel like we're in a culture where we chop and change managers too quickly. And I said personally, I don't think Villa was the right move for Gerrard. I think he should have stayed at Rangers a little bit more, build his kind of credentials there. But I don't feel like sacking him now will kind of prove anything. How many managers are out there that are actually going to come in and improve this team
This is
or
my
take
question.
this team on and say, do you know what? I feel like they've bought into Gerrard. They've given him backing. See it out.
Yeah.
Give it the 2 years. Give it the 3 years. Try and actually see where he can take this team. If not, as you said, you've got the World Cup to kind of reassess an opportunity. Or for me, at the end of the season. But
if you drop into the bottom 3 from now until November, that's when you can say, right, listen, we've tried, it's not working. But a month. Give him a month
You're
more
saying
and
all
then
these
see
things
what
because
happens.
it's Steven Gerrard, a legend.
No, bro, he's saying the same thing, though.
No, because you know what it is? It's
He's not a
with the
Liverpool
Premier
fan.
League,
Are we all right? In general, are we people saying this only because it's Gerrard?
I think
Someone else, but a lot of people.
Because
a
we're
big
always
club
looking
like
for a
Villa,
sack race.
So what?
No, but
Should
Villa-
Brendan Rodgers be sacked
a
as
big
well,
club
then?
like Villa, with the players that they've got.
The players that they have, they should be much higher. Like
100%.
They've
but
got
so
a
should
very,
Liverpool.
very good
What I
team.
will say
They
is,
had
though,
quite a few injuries
so should
yesterday, and they
Liverpool,
still
though.
filled a very good
Till
11.
about 18th in the Premier League, though. If you string 2 or 3 wins together,
Yeah, you're
you
up.
go from relegation scraps to, they could be competing for Conference League. So
And why is
it's
that?
so
Because we're 9
interchangeable.
games into the season.
Literally.
Let's go to halfway, and then you can make a decision. And then with the World Cup, you've got time. There's going to be a lot of managers who are doing punditry work at the World Cup that might get that call up. Rafa Benitez might get that call. Tuchel,
Pochettino's
Poch,
waiting in the
they
wings.
might get that call.
If you're Villa,
But
big
wait a
club
month.
like Villa, Pochettino's out there, Tuchel's out there, 2 managers, right? You're thinking to yourself,
Please
wouldn't go
respect Tuchel, man.
How many times I have to say it on this damn show?
Please,
Every
man. I've been
single
saying this
week,
the time.
you man disrespect Thomas
What is
Tuchel,
this?
linking him with these silly
Come
jobs.
on, man.
Come
That's
on now.
Villa's a big
Silly
club.
job, you know.
What are we doing? Robbie, this ain't the 1980s.
Villa's a
Yeah,
big
it's
club.
Robbie,
It's like
you are
European Cup
trying
seat
it
days.
with that one.
They got more than you, though.
Bro,
still.
the disrespect
doing?
is ridiculous, isn't it? Is it not?
There's no need for that.
Bro, it's the disrespect.
Come
it's
on,
not
man.
mad.
Tuchel,
Villa, Aston
England,
Villa's a
England
big
post
club.
Southgate. That's waiting for Tuchel.
Second biggest city in this country. Villa are the biggest club in that city. They're a massive club.
Midlands
I agree with you, bro.
Right?
So- so Nottingham Forest?
No,
So
they're
are
big.
Leeds?
They're bigger than Forest.
So it Leeds.
Birmingham.
Leeds are a big
Ooh,
club.
I don't know if
Would
they
you
are
say-
a big
would you
club.
say that- would
Forest
you-
has got 2
Aston
European
Villa are
titles, man.
Aston Villa potentially like a sleeping. When you say sleeping giant, that is a sleeping giant. Birmingham, second biggest city in this country, as I said, right? They've got American owners who have been investing money. They've bought in some good players. That team shouldn't be where they are. You've got Pochettino out there and Tuchel.
Nagelsmann is on his last legs.
True.
Allegri's on his last legs. Xavi could be on his last legs, and you want my man Thomas to go to Aston Villa.
Well, yeah, there's that. But
For me, it stinks of Rafa Benitez.
The thing with
He
Villa,
stinks
though,
of
is if
Rafa.
you look at the traditional top 6, we're saying Brighton are overperforming. Let's say they're 7th. You've got Newcastle, who are the big money splashers in 8th. Are they really better than any of those 8 clubs? Even if you look at it pound for pound player-wise, yeah, they've got a bunch of nice creative 10s in Buendia, Coutinho, but is it really a team that you think can push for a top 7
if
spot?
everybody's got
I
money,
don't think so.
Does
Maybe a
anybody
top-
really have money?
I don't think
Top,
so.
I'd say 8th to 10th is where they should
Yeah.
be. And then if you can get to 8th, why not try and squeeze to 7th where you can get a Conference League place? But I do think to
West
finish
Ham.
it off, you've got to give him till the World Cup at least.
There's,
Okay.
there's a pack of teams there, and it's hard. Like
Wolves aren't underperforming.
There's a pack of teams there.
I
That's-
don't know if Villa have that kind
Can't
of
all do it.
entitlement of, we're a top 10
But on
club. I'm like,
paper, bro. On paper, they should be winning
listen,
a lot more
right,
games.
Diego Carlos a little bit overrated.
Let me just say
even
to
though
you,
he's
right,
injured.
over the years, right, growing up in
Buendia.
in football, Villa a bigger club than Man City by a long way.
oh yeah,
Right? It's
But-
only since the money's come to a club like Man City. So I'm saying the potential at Aston Villa is huge. Huge, man. I mean, if somebody... So anyway, let's move on to Tottenham.
Boring game,
like you
man.
said, moving in silence. Another win for Tottenham. Tottenham now on level on points with Man City. They've only lost 1 game this season.
Best start in
They're-
60 years for
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Crazy, honestly. And
How
it
has that
hasn't
happened?
felt like that. That's the worst thing. I think I can't lie to you, it's been tough to watch. But even though we're getting the results for me, I said for me, that's all that matters. I've never been someone who's, I want us to play swashbuckling football. It's never got
Total
us
football, no?
anywhere. The Tottenham way, some Spurs
What is
fans
the
would
Tottenham
call
way?
it. I think it's free-flowing attacking football is what they like.
that's everybody's way, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really,
everybody,
West Ham
it's,
way,
it's the
Tottenham
trend.
way.
Yeah, for me, I
Oval
don't.
way.
The way I see it is, as long as we're collecting points and we're just kind of in the race there, I've said top 4's the target this year, in my opinion. It's going to be a race, to be honest, because the quality's so good. The improvements I've seen over the last couple of weeks for me, Doherty coming in, Bissouma coming into that midfield. I think Perisic has gone another level. Son, I'm still waiting for a little bit of consistency, but Kane is looking back to
Important
his...
he scored that penalty after he missed one.
100%. I think
this is
rare Kane misses a penalty as well. But
let's get to that penalty.
those kind of small tweaks that Conte's doing, that's exactly what top
penalty.
coaches do. Let's talk about it. Pickford.
How can someone's head hitting your shin pad, allegedly, make you fall like that, though?
For me, it's a contact.
But this is
So
where
that-
it becomes
so for me
such a
as an
fine
attacker,
line.
If I see a defender has left his body in a position for me to make contact, and I can go over it and win
But
my
are you
team a
making
penalty,
contact with him, or is he making contact with you?
Either way, whether we want to question the
It's up to
ingenuity,
the football gods to decide.
that's it. I'm gonna just put myself in the position to try and win this penalty, and he won it. And then all you got to do is bag it, because if, as you said, if the football gods are wrong, you miss that penalty. For me, I don't
a
think you
dive.
can
You are
complain.
admitting
Listen,
it's a
I have
dive.
no problems if your attacker dives to go and win your team, especially when the game is tight. Listen,
Madison tried it. Failed.
you trying to tell me? You trying to tell me
Last
you've
10
never had
seconds,
players in
got
your
tried.
team go for
listen,
penalties?
Listen, last
You
week,
trying to tell me Salah's never gone for penalties?
Last week,
Don't bring me into
Last
this.
week.
I'm just asking questions.
last week, that was with Jesus, he made the most of that. There was contact. He made the most of that. Right?
Bro.
And let's be honest.
Kane's one though. I mean, listen, it was a mistake by Pickford, but
Yes.
I don't know. You know the thing is in football nowadays, right? Listen, Jesus made the most of it.
That was more penalty than Jesus' one.
Your one made the most of. Kane made the most of it.
ain't
We
about
see
me.
every week. Like you said, Madison tried to do it, didn't do a good job of it. Ended up getting booked, right? But is it good for the game? I don't know, man. Where the game, like, I just remember the game.
Robbie.
I remember the game. It used to be that you had to foul someone to get a penalty.
Nah, Robbie.
And
we've
now it's
All right,
not.
Graham Souness.
It's no longer fouling someone. It's just like contact, isn't it?
Yeah,
We've been
yeah.
having
That
this
contact
conversation.
will be contact will be outside the box,
Yeah.
and it's just play on.
We've been
As
having
a
the
matter
same
of sorry
conversation.
to cut
Yeah,
you,
go on.
right? As a matter of fact, the referees have been told this season to allow more contact, to allow a more physical game. But the minute you get into the box,
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. Listen, I get it. You can't fault Kane for doing it. But I don't know if it's. I don't know, man.
Where's
For some
integrity?
reason, I don't like it. I don't
This
like
is
it.
the thing. It becomes about integrity and all this. And I feel like we've been having this conversation for over 20 plus years in this game. When you say, oh, it's the foreign influx of players coming into the Premier League. I remember when Pires used to get accused of it of, he goes
Oh,
down
he
too
did
easy.
like a
Do you
dive
see what I'm
in.
saying?
Yeah.
Archives, we can go back. We've been having this conversation for years. So for me, it's a case of, just because now it's not happening for your team,
too late now.
don't be mad at it. Listen, I'm not disputing. Kane's gone down very easy there. Go for it.
Well, he's one of the
Go for
best
it.
at it. I have to
It's
say.
where-
Go
it's
for
where
it.
the game's
Clever
gone.
with it,
It's
though.
an art form. That's all I'll say. Not everybody
He
can
leaves
do
a
it.
tiny bit of reasonable doubt in there,
it.
which just makes you.
the
Well, we're
arm with
discussing it now. We're discussing it now.
Once you give it that little, you got to add that sauce and seasoning. But
I don't like it,
listen, quietly
So
chugging
what do you
along.
think, Matisse?
It's
I mean,
over. Like, you know.
It is. Listen, it's never going to go back.
We're not going back to how it used to be.
And,
So
and it's come from the.
it's just up to the referees to almost be able to move with the times and spot these things, and
was gonna
it's
say-
up to them to raise their standards to be able to see what's going on, because the players are going to do it, and you're not going to go beyond a booking for it. You're not going to
I
start
think
sending people off for it.
it's very difficult for the referees as well, because when, say for instance, sometimes they think, nah, that's not enough to let you go over, and they don't give it.
VAR.
But then you see VAR will see that there's contact there, so they end up looking a bit stupid. But
you know,
actually, the
slow-mo.
referee's the guy there sometimes, and he can see that weren't enough. But
I think
that's
if you,
just
I
how the
think
game's
if
gone,
you
innit?
get if you
It's
get
like-
VAR, but then you get former players on the VAR board or whatever it is, that will help, because former players know what it's like to be
Yeah,
in
but then
the
it
game in those
becomes a
situations.
bias thing, and
Well, you have to
know-
make sure it's like, I don't know, Yeovil fans and stuff. You know, you just don't.
Why had the Yeovil get brought into it?
You know, Bradford and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, we
Get
got to
Dean
remember.
Windass in
Yeah,
the
get
VAR.
Dean
And the whole
Windass.
reason why that happens is for the protection of the players. Let's remember, we always wanted our creative players to be protective, our attacking players to be protective, which is how the game has gotten like this. I used to love it when defenders and strikers would go battle with each other in the boxes.
then the flip side of this is that we want the game to be more, but then the players are playing more games, getting more injuries because of FIFA and UEFA playing more and more matches. So in fact, they need more protection, because look how many players are injury prone.
Because I guarantee
So,
you right now,
didn't play as many games back then.
if Pickford's head took out Kane's knee and he was out for the World Cup, oh, there would be no complaints right now. They'd be like, down with Pickford. There would be pickets out for Pickford.
There is
There's
in
a super
Liverpool.
chat. Super chat here.
I've got one.
Super chat here for Shriff. Again, I can't get up on the screen for some reason, but he says Kane should represent the GB in the Olympics. At least he would have won more as well. Also, free-flowing was Poch, Nuno, Mourinho or Conte. Spurs way hasn't won anything. So I think he's agreeing with you and saying that, that you just want results.
The last three managers have not been the most progressive attacking managers.
They have not. So for me, it's a case of, I understand some Spurs fans will be at a point where, listen, we've been watching ugly football for about 2-3 years, but with Conte, I actually trust what he's doing. And I think the back end of last season, he's shown when he gets the right players in, when that system is working, he can score goals. We were one of the highest scorers in Europe in the second half of last season.
You need to bag a trophy, though, innit?
100%.
For all
100%.
this pain.
For me, first and foremost, extend that Conte contract, and then we can talk about trophies.
Let's get into some of the other results of the weekend. Leicester 0-0.
Boring,
Not a
man.
Terrible game. I watched that game, man. I nearly fell
Rubbish.
asleep. And as you said, the dive by Maddison at the end, which, by the way, means he misses the next game.
Yeah.
Was picked up a fifth
Sausage.
yellow card. But
Does he really want to play the next game the way they play?
maybe you don't want to play it. Fulham 2, Bournemouth 2.
This is a good
Bournemouth
game.
still doing pretty well, man, since they sacked their manager. A lot of controversial moments in the game, but a 2-2 draw.
Big
in
up
that.
to Dominic Solanke as well, by the way.
Yeah, Solanke's scoring.
Let
I
me
think
let
that was
me
his
let me
50th
say
goal.
that.
season.
Yeah, let me say a shout out to him because I think he scored after two or 3 minutes. Scored last week as well. So Bournemouth actually, since they lost 9-0 to Liverpool, apart from last night, I think they've picked up more points in Liverpool since that game. So people start need to put a bit of respect on, and then Fulham to get the penalty. Mitrovic again. It's a really good game.
Solanke's from the Chelsea academy.
You're jagging the
Liverpool guy,
Yeah. And also, quick shout out to Ted
remember where he
Bowley.
came
Yeah?
from, yeah?
Shout out to Ted Bowley. Salah did not go to the Chelsea academy, yeah? Just so we can get that out straight as well.
Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 0, right? Nottingham Forest, 2 penalties in the game. Wolves scored theirs. Nottingham Forest missed their penalty. Nottingham Forest, bottom of the league. Was it stupidness, as my mum used to say?
Stupidness.
Right? Stupidness to give Steve Cooper a new contract. I mean, a brand new
That's
contract.
loyalty, though, man.
Loyalty.
That's loyalty.
You see, this is that trust in the process. I think because they know even if they go down, they would trust him.
He'll
to
get
bring
them back up.
Yeah. So I
He's
think
already done it.
I kind of respect.
How about
it,
trying to
be
stay
honest.
up?
I respect it, though,
Sometimes
man.
in the
They
face
still be
of
a football club
adversity, and I remember
after what
Arteta got a new contract right after you lot missed out on Champions League. And
Facts,
Remember though,
Robbie.
you know what a lot
Facts,
of people
Robbie.
forget about with the Arteta thing, though, right? He had credit in the bank because in his
The FA
first
Cup.
season
Not
he won
much,
the FA
though.
Cup.
The FA Cup.
No, but
I get
that
it.
was a lot of
Yeah,
credit.
but Steve Cooper
It's
got them.
promotion
He's
to the
got hella
Premier- it's the
credit.
promotion to the Premier League for the first time in 20-something
What, is
years.
that not credit?
in the bank?
Not if you're going straight back down.
No, it is,
Robbie, that's
It's
credit,
It's
definitely
credit.
bro.
It's, no, hold
Definitely
on.
credit, mate,
It's
man.
credit in the
Hella
bank,
credit there.
right? Credit in the bank for Scott Parker.
Different
No,
levels,
I think
man.
Bournemouth.
No,
No, hold on.
because they've
Credit
been
in-
there, done that before.
Yeah.
They've gone down, Bournemouth, right? And they've gone down, right? But
Nottingham
they're
Forest different.
ruthlessness
Nah,
now.
it's different,
I think
bro. It's different.
Bournemouth were up recently.
They
and I
haven't
think
been in the league
they probably
20
had
years.
But Nottingham Forest, this is ridiculous that they're back. This is like when Leeds came back up.
Yeah.
Whoever does that, they're getting statue, let alone sacked.
Do you think, right, if they go back down, right, that they...
I think if
they
they go,
go
I
back
think
up-
if they go back down,
You think
they
they come
have a
straight
lot.
back up with the mess they're in?
I
at the
don't know
moment?
because I don't know what squad they're going to be left with. I think if they go down, though, more than Cooper has something to answer for. The whole club does because look how many
Yes.
amount of players they've brought in.
Exactly.
Expecting any manager to be able to put that together in some sort of unison,
gotta give him time.
harmonic squad and actually take that forward into one cohesive team. There was no way.
And I think it
Too
says
many
something
players.
that they've given him a new contract and sacked the head of recruitment who signed all these players, which
That's a bit mad,
kind of
actually.
says where they're...
What was it,
Basically
27,
saying
28 players?
you signed all the wrong players, so you're sacked, but you didn't have a say in this, so we'll give you a contract.
100%.
That's basically what I'm
Yeah.
hearing as well. Because I don't think Cooper would have gone and taken that many players. It doesn't. No
he would have
manager
probably kept a lot of the
this
ones
is
that
not.
got
This
him
is
up.
not FIFA career mode where you get all the money in and you just start. Even on FIFA career mode, I don't think people sign 28 players.
Yeah.
Like that was ridiculous. There's players that are literally sat at home that can't fit on the bench
or the bus
on the bus
to go there, let alone
go there, and then
man are in the toilets.
There's not
on
enough
the
seats
coach.
behind the bench where the players that are out of the squad sit. There's not enough seats for them, so they got to sit at home. Bro, this is ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
This is mad.
All right. Well, all I'm
You
saying.
want a lot of people sacked today,
No,
don't
no,
you?
I know. I'm not saying.
guy's coming out
Tyler
Alan
the video.
Sugar today.
Tyler the fans all right.
You're fired.
Robbie
You're
wants more
fired.
people
No,
unemployed.
You might be the Don, man. but
I'm not.
come on,
I'm not
G.
saying. Listen, I'm not wishing sacking on. I'm not wishing sacking on anyone.
Hella
I'm just saying that when you
P45s
do
out
go
here.
down, it's a very difficult to come back up, man.
He's looking for new pundits here. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're sacked. But it's not easy to come back once you're gone, man.
Nah, it's true.
It's not easy to
It's
come
true.
back. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I'm just looking at what Bournemouth have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't think it works for
was
everyone.
everybody was slating
They
that at
could
the
still
time.
go down though.
They could.
Could do, but everyone was slating that at the time. It's now looking like it was a great decision, isn't
I
it?
think with the Bournemouth situation, though, don't give Gary O'Neill the full job. Keep the caretaker title till the end of the
just
season.
let him stay
the
there.
magic will rub off the second
And
you
do
make
you know
that
what?
contract permanent.
For
Abolish
the
you.
benefit of Gary O'Neill's managerial career, it's better that he stays as caretaker.
Yeah.
Less pressure. You lose, it's calm, bro. Someone else is coming next week. Oh, you keep winning. Nice one, bro.
keep going.
This is going to do great for your
End of the
future
season,
career.
We'll give you a big deal
Yeah.
if it gets there.
Yeah.
Okay, Southampton won, West Ham won. Again, another controversial game. David Moyes saying that the referee should go to Specsavers because he was unhappy with a
That
couple of
one's
decisions.
old now, bro. Are we still using the Specsavers joke? We're giving them free brand.
Like, let's first of all, let's
Notoriety.
give some credit to Vision Express, right?
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I know. Yeah, I know.
was a good
so
one, that was a
let's
good one.
start being fair with this. But-
David Clulo.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to the other opticians out there, bro.
Nah, man, I'm sick of this.
But
Other
there
brands
was
available.
I don't know if you guys saw the game, but what he was unhappy about, he was saying that the ref got in the way.
I saw
Which
that.
then led to
actually.
the attack with Southampton's deflected goal.
Did he block off again? Was it?
But you know, I thought it was clever refereeing because it hit his leg. It was a
No, it didn't
nutmeg
actually
on the
hit
ref.
him. It didn't hit the
Wasn't
ref.
it a nutmeg?
He didn't hit the ref. The ref was sort of, when it was sort of,
But then the ref had the whistle to his mouth, and then for 2 seconds he went, actually, none of this is affected. The ball is still in play.
And
Advantage.
really, the
I
rules
rate
say
that.
the rules say you only stop it if it hits the ref. It didn't actually hit the ref, but I can see where Moyes is coming from. He was sort of in the way
the
and
momentum a
stopped
little bit, yeah.
stopped the West Ham player from getting the tackle in. So
Good goal from Declan Rice, though. About time,
Yeah,
by
good
the
finish,
way.
yeah.
About time. Nicky on the show, on Saturday Football Show, has been saying this guy's worth 200 mil. He hasn't even scored this season, but that goal there,
Is it DM though? Do we expect goals from Rice? I mean, come on.
I think he's got it in his locker.
Let's
He's got a
maybe
good,
some
he's a
more.
good
I
distance.
think add
shooter.
some more to your
long
game.
busting runs forward
Let
last
me see
season, now
5
everyone
to
wants
10.
He ain't
goals.
worth no 200 million.
Fabinho scored 8 goals last season. Let me see 5 to 10 goals at least every season.
would you
from
have him
DM.
in your team now?
I would.
Well, okay.
I would. Why? Would you not?
Of course I would. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying.
Not for 200 million, though.
No,
No, not 200 million.
that's Nicky, but that's, you know.
Manchester United 0, Newcastle 0.
Right, before we get into this one, Rob, I've got to say, we're all talking about bad decisions. The worst decision of the weekend was to not give Callum Wilson a penalty after a clear foul from Rafa Varane, bro. Howler. What do you mean no?
That's a
That was a
penalty.
clear pen, Rob. I'm not
You're
hearing
saying
otherwise.
Kane's one isn't, and that one.
Bro, that was a foul.
I'm saying that's
Come
Varane
on,
was
Robbie. I need some
reckless, Robbie.
consistency.
Come on, man.
not a penalty for me.
I know you're of Arsenal and all that, but come
Well,
on.
do you think I want to back Man United? But I just have to be real. It wasn't a penalty.
Take your Arsenal hat off, bro. That is a stonewall
So
penalty.
what Arsenal hat on? If I got my Arsenal hat on, I want it to be a penalty, right? But it weren't a penalty.
How is that not a
Because
penalty,
Callum
Rob?
Wilson, to me, he runs. He's clever. He runs and he puts his knee.
Varane's
into
leg is
Varane.
all the way out. Contact.
No. You've got your Liverpool hat on.
think-
now.
So
I
what, you're
think
saying Gabriel
Varane's
Jesus last week was a pen, but that one wasn't?
Of course.
Oh,
I think
right,
Varane
because-
left himself in a position where the striker could
Matty
take
Renton
I don't
is
think
turning
the
right now.
They always say body positions. Varane's
Clumsy
body
from
position there,
Varane.
Clumsy.
Did you think that was a penalty?
Of course it was.
As a Chelsea fan, yes, I think it was. Massive,
Now,
massive.
as just a football fan, do you think that was a penalty? Take the Chelsea. Take all of the. Take all of that out of it.
I think
Was
for
that-
what
come
I've
on, let's
seen,
be real.
for what I've seen given recently, I think yeah, it was like when you're if we were going back to the dark ages, like what you were saying before, then maybe not.
Stonewall.
But with the standard of refereeing that we're seeing this season in terms of what is being
Stoners.
given and how little it takes to Bro, then yeah.
Bro, that was...
If that's a penalty, we're all gone, man.
Oh, no, Robbie, seriously. I rate your point because there's, like, Jesus' one. If that's a pen, then we're finished. But that one there, he's tripped him over. And he's clever because there's two defenders. He's thought, let me chip it to the point where they can't stop it with their leg, but they're going to have to use their body to bring me down. If you watch that again, Rob, you need to watch that again because that is a stone wall penalty.
I watched it a few times. I don't think that was a penalty. I don't think if that would have been given, that'd have been it wasn't a penalty. United, by the way, had enough chances to win it.
Matty Renton, I'm sorry, bro.
They had a chance.
Sorry.
They had a chance at the end. Rashford.
Joe Linton as well.
Yeah, how he put that wide, and Fred as well had a chance.
And Joe Linton hit the bar.
Joe Linton hit the post
with two headers.
Joe Linton should have scored as well. But 0-0. Newcastle, by the way, another team going well.
Well, listen, on the Saturday football show, when Matty Renton said, I think we can win it. Why not?
Yeah, I heard when he was saying that,
Yeah, he had every right to say that.
He said, for the first time in a long time, I'm confident going there. That is the confidence of Newcastle now. They are a very good side.
They are the team that you'd expect out of everybody right now to cause the top 6 the biggest problems, because they're the team that haven't made a massive influx of transfers as well in the summer, like a West Ham, where they're still getting their chemistry sorted out. The manager, in terms of does he really suit the style of players that he's working with. Aston Villa, we've already spoken about them. For me, they're nowhere near coming near the top 6 right now. Newcastle were the team that added a couple, just quickly added a couple little sprinkle, little bit of seasoning. And remember, this is a team that last January, from this calendar year onwards, were one of the best teams in the league. And it was not even a
top
debate.
5, I think.
Great defensive record. Dan Burn, solid. Botman, Trippier, all these guys.
Bruno.
Shaw.
If they can make a few additions in January, and I'm talking about James Maddison.
Serious problem.
Because I'm trying to see Maddison play for a team that actually have a chance of doing something serious. I think if you add Maddison into that midfield, take Longstaff out, I know they're completely different players, and you get, Isaac fit, and we could see something special. Maybe.
Okay, let's take a look at the league then. So currently at the top of the league is Arsenal on 27 points. Man City in second place on 23, joined also by Tottenham. They're only ahead of them on goal difference. They're also on 23. And in fourth place, it's Chelsea on 19 points. Man United in fifth place on 16 points. And Newcastle in sixth place on 15 points. Liverpool 2 points back in eighth place now.
Yeah, looks
on
better.
13 points. You
don't have to press C more on the table anymore.
You think they're going to win the league?
Robbie.
No, you said
when did I? No,
earlier on in the show, you said.
I said if you can beat Man City at this stage in the season where it's so early and we've still got 2/3 of the season to play.
No, you said you're in the title race.
Yeah. You said
okay, well, if you let me finish, if you can beat City at this early stage of the season after they've run away with it, then
should have just said no.
9 games in, Rob.
See, what I like to do
we've got ages to go.
Trying to put asterisks.
I take pressure off my team. You say, is Chelsea in the title race? I say, absolutely not. Take pressure off the boys. Take pressure off the manager.
Okay, yeah, go on then.
They're not involved.
We're not involved in
Don't
this.
even bother looking
at it. That's not what you said, though.
Moving in silence. Yeah, I know, but that's my tactic coming in here.
You know what
I
it
just
is?
say,
He's not
listen,
used to moving in silence.
Yeah, I'm not involved. You know what I'm saying?
We're used to moving in silence.
I'm taking pressure off the team, taking pressure off the boys. Do you know what I mean? Just letting us go along our merry way. Don't even watch us. Don't even look at us.
Bottom of the league at the moment, Nottingham Forest on 5 points. Just worse goal difference. Leicester 5 points as well. Southampton dropping to the bottom 3 as well.
Hasenhuttl is clinging on, by the way.
That's another one, yeah.
Just out
Tuchel go there?
Clingers.
Does this every year.
There's 3 teams just outside it. Wolves, Aston Villa and Leeds on 9 points. But Leeds have a game in hand.
Don't forget Everton, man. They could get drawn into that dogfight as well. Hopefully.
Everton on 10
Hopefully,
points.
Inshallah.
Everton on 10 points. 3 points behind Liverpool.
Well, it's a good job. It's a good job we won yesterday and beat the champions then, isn't it, Rob?
Just for
Hey, listen.
See why you want them out.
Listen, it's what it is.
Lord.
It ain't easy. It ain't easy, Rob.
Wow, that's not nice.
Good job we won yesterday.
Just before we go,
Thanks.
did you guys see this? David Ornstein tweeted out earlier on about this plans for a possible tournament that's going to be played in America.
Don't we already have that?
Yeah, man, we've got the Champions Trophy out there that they do.
I think this is
Champions
one.
League,
I think the difference with this one is this could be a Premier League one. the Psalm
What?
played
So
at.
we're saying more
No
games.
one wants to see that.
More
Who
games.
wants to see
Cup,
Aston Villa
basically.
versus Brighton in America?
No, but that's not what he's saying. All right, so
Literally
he's,
no one.
it's what David
Almost
Ornstein is
no
saying. Premier League sets a stage at enhanced pre-season tournament in the USA next summer. Not finalised, but potentially 6 club in 2 groups.
This is Ted's,
with
man.
games in multiple cities, East and West Coast. First steps of the roadmap to meaningful matches abroad.
This is Ted Bowley. What?
That's-
Chat to your man, bro.
That
It's
is-
Todd, not
that is
Ted.
actually,
Ted,
yeah.
Todd, whatever it is.
I actually blame
Ted
Bowley for
Lasso,
that.
Todd Bowley, all the same.
I think it's Laporta and Perez's fault, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
He's also tweeted that
It's more for the
Jota's
foreign
injury
fans, I
looks a
guess.
bit serious. So.
And also, just to remind everybody, there are some games during this week. Tuesday, Brighton versus Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace versus Wolves. On Wednesday, obviously Arsenal versus Man City postponed now because Arsenal got to play that Europa League game. But you've got Bournemouth versus Southampton, Brentford versus Chelsea.
Silence, move. I expect us to win, 100%. But Brentford is a tough place to go because they can always turn it on. He's going to start doing his Mystic Mac predictions now, like he did for Southampton. Oh, I can smell something in the air, something in the atmosphere. Ooh. Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just trying to taste the air.
You idiot.
What's the forecast saying?
Yeah, so just don't even let him talk about this game because I don't
Okay,
need that.
Liverpool versus West Ham.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to that one. Under the lights at Anfield. Do you know what though? Skamaka looking
Skamaka.
decent.
Paquetá.
Paquetá
He's hungry.
looking decent. So that's no easy
Bowen.
game. It will be typical Liverpool to draw that after we beat City.
Newcastle versus Everton.
That's a big game, man.
And I think what the big one,
Yeah.
Manchester United versus Tottenham, Old Trafford.
Another 6-1.
That was a few years ago. This time last year, though, this game did give us one of our favourite gifts. Antonio Conte, baby. This was the last time we saw Nuno Espirito Santo, who
Oh,
might be
snap.
actually coming back to Wolves.
Could be coming back to Wolves.
Listen,
doesn't it?
I'll be happy for him. I think that'd be a good move. I want good for Nuno. Looks a little bit like me, that's why. But, so I've been told. So I've been
Dye that
told.
big grey.
When the grey's coming. Yeah.
Can we get a prediction for you from that?
Do you know what? It depends what United turn up. Well, I actually think we can sneak a result in a weird
Funny
way.
about this game, both teams don't want the ball. Both teams want a transition. They would prefer to do that. And now it's like, well, who's going to have possession?
I can see a 2-2 draw. I would like to think we can take a 2-1 win.
Okay.
Interesting.
Prediction for that game?
Ain't this what you used
I'm going to go with a draw. And United haven't actually drawn a game this season. They've won 5, lost 3, so they're kind of here or there.
Yeah.
But I think
no, they
Conte
drew
will
the
set
Newcastle.
up to score, but also be very, very tight at the back. And listen, when you're United, Ronaldo can score at any time, really, if he plays. So
What about you, Sam?
I would probably say that. It's tough. I'm going to go with Tottenham win. Conte, shithouse.
Yeah.
Away from home, passion, desire, into the crowd. You know,
horrible one for fans to get home after, by the way. 8:15 kickoff.
Yeah, I'm going for
Travelers.
I'm going for a United win, and the only reason I'm saying that is because no Richarlison. Is Kulusevski back?
He could be back.
Yes. Oh,
he could be
was
back.
in training
Okay.
this week. So
Kane,
he-
Son.
He's a
Okay,
big
well, if he's
player for you,
back-
man.
I think.
Do you know what
even
it is
if
about
he's-
Man United? It's Tottenham is that midfield.
But
Now
that's
that he's
what I
made
think.
the
I think
change.
even if Richarlison drops, I think with Kane
fine.
and Son
Three-
up top,
3-5-2.
Zuma, drops
Yeah.
into that midfield. He's shown the last 2 games it can actually be another wrinkle to our system. So I don't mind it.
Okay, all right.
I know you don't want to give
He's going to say 2-1 United. That's what he's going to say.
I know you don't
That's
want
what
to
he's
give
gonna
a
say.
smell of Spurs on his shoulders. It's all good, baby.
Draw, man. Okay, I can't take none of them teams there. You know what I mean? Draw.
Have you ever predicted a Spurs win for any like big game? Like that could have been. Have you
Have
ever
I
predicted a
predicted-
Spurs win for
Yeah,
any?
I have.
Okay.
Like I predicted Spurs would beat Everton.
What, Champions League
But,
final
like,
when
not
they
an
played us?
obvious
If
one.
I'm not mistaken,
No.
I think the City one last year when we did a watch along. I think you predicted.
I
us.
predicted it. Yeah, I predicted.
Oh,
I was.
shit, I was on that streak.
And if you
3-2.
remember rightly on that game, like all of the Tottenham fans were writing it off, and I was like,
Yeah.
no, I think you win.
I was like, no,
Because
I'm
I
not
go,
sure.
your style of play.
Yeah.
No stars
I
make
remember.
games.
I thought he was
Yeah.
trying to be a contrarian, and I was like,
This is why I think Tottenham could get it over United. Is that United will kind of be forced to dominate the game because they're at home.
Yeah.
They're not going to counter-attack Tottenham surely at home like they
funny
did.
thing is,
But
I
they did it
think-
to Arsenal. So
I think United have phases where they can play good football. There have been
They have-
moments,
they have
but
had a
can
few
they do
moments.
it consistently and
What it is with
dominate a game?
United, the reason why I actually, do you know what? Actually, I'm going to change that call. I think United might win. Let's remember, right, maybe they haven't been at their best, right, but They beat us, Arsenal. They beat Liverpool. When it comes to them big games there, they've stepped up.
True.
You have to say that. They have stepped up. It's not an easy place to go to.
No, it's not.
Old Trafford. I mean, especially for
been what it
the...
used
I think it's actually easier for some of the smaller clubs because then all the expectations on United and that. But I think United are sort of feeding off of the underdog sort of thing when they play against.
I might just change it to a draw.
So I'm going to go
Kane
United.
scores a penalty
I'm
in
going to
that
go
game,
United to 2-1 to United. The last two games, Fulham versus Aston Villa on Thursday and Leicester versus Leeds. That is huge. Both managers really need a win, but I'll tell you what I saw of Leeds, they're a good side. Maybe
Aronson, what was the fella? Christensen.
that Sinistera is
Sinistera.
a very good player.
He was doing very well in the Dutch league last
Final, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Also, be careful of PSV. Xavi Simons right now doing bits.
Hey, we're cooking.
Is that
something.
the
We're cooking
golden
something.
boy,
Yeah. For years, people were trying to say, he went PSG flop. I said, now he's gone to PSV. Now he'll flourish, and he is killing it this year.
He's a great youngster.
Careful.
But we do have a few good youngsters ourselves.
Oh, yes.
So, namely one called Saka. Right, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Sir JB says, pressure on Arsenal at the top. Can they handle it? Well, that's what we're going to be.
They say it's an elephant
nosebleed
on top of the
business.
tree, but
That's what we're going to be finding out. But listen, I want to thanks to you guys. It's been a brilliant show. Thank you,
great show,
Matisse. AGT, great to see you smiling and happy
you, mate.
again.
Chest
right,
inflated.
chest out. You know what I mean? That's
Johnny Bravo
that's
thing.
why the table was wobbling. You know what I mean? That's true. And Fuad, big up yourself, man, as well. And big up to all you guys out there as well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to become a member here if you want all early stuff. Check out all of these. We'll put their link in the description. Check out all of their channels as well. All great stuff. And we'll be back next week with another roundup of the weekend's games. Thanks for watching.